What's good, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel at Gino Black Official. Today's episode of Music Therapy and Motivation is brought to you by none other than Retired Rockstar. Retired Rockstar is a fashion brand based in LA. They ship worldwide. It's for musicians, creatives, people that are still got it, icon status, over the age of 45, men and women that still got that swag. Retired Rockstar, based in LA, shipping worldwide. RetiredRockstarBrand.com. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're good. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. You all right? You excited? I don't know
I
what the fuck we're gonna
know.
talk about.
I know. This is great.
This is gonna be awesome though. This is season 3 of Music Therapy and Motivation. I'm your host Gino Black, and I have a good friend of mine and a very, very talented and brilliant woman. Her name is Anu. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good to see you and
Fantastic.
connect with
Fantastic.
you.
Yeah, it's been a while. It seems like you and me talk like every first of the year. Like no matter what's
Yes.
going on. Like
No matter what's going
no
on,
what's
we're gonna
going
get
on.
it in
Yeah.
on the first of the year. Yes. At
Exactly,
least. At
exactly.
least. Yes.
I'm happy that you agreed to come on and do the show. I wanted to talk to you, see what you've been up to, talk about some of the projects you're working on. But let's start with where I know more, and then we'll delve into some of the other stuff that you've been working on. First and
Okay.
foremost, you're a musician, singer, songwriter. Um, talk a little bit about that. Tell me about what's been going on because the last time that we actually were connected, we were doing some marketing and promotions for your projects and stuff. So what's been
Yes.
happening for the last couple of years with you in terms of music? I know you took a break, but
Yes.
but it
Yes.
never really goes away,
It
right?
never does, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here, and always connecting with you is always amazing. And yeah, no matter what, we always connect at the beginning of the year, at least just
Mm-hmm.
to see what we're gonna do this year.
Right.
And yes, I was on a hiatus of sorts, but of course, there's always in the background. I've been really like focusing on like I went in, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in going in, I was like honing my skills. So I was, sitting at the piano more and picking up the guitar more and still writing lyrics. I do that happens no matter what is going on in life.
Right.
Something
Right.
sparks me and I'm writing. So, I have an idea for some projects coming up. Like I know I want to do something around love, like a love album. And like
Mm-hmm.
um a mixture of some of the most, for me, influential love songs, like Love Train, like that vibe, like just like a community coming together in love type
Mm-hmm.
music that I feel like is needed at this time.
Right.
And then of course I have my own stuff, so I still want to do this love album of my own music as well. So I've got things floating up in the air, but I know there'll be music this year because these next few months I'll be focused on that. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's interesting that you say you're working on some stuff and writing some stuff where it's about love and bringing people together. That seems to be a theme amongst a lot of creatives that I'm talking about. Just trying to create some stuff that makes people feel together, especially in the times that we're living in.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on. Talk to me a little bit about so the listeners and the viewers can understand where you come from, how you got started, and just give us a brief synopsis. I mean, obviously, we don't want to go back to the third grade, but
Yes. Well, it started. No.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It started. I was a poor boy on a porch on a farm in Minnesota. Like,
I mean, I was Brooklyn born and Bronx raised, but
okay.
I started writing when I was well, I started writing poetry first because I needed an outlet. Came from a very uh how can I say, with finesse and truth,
Mm-hmm.
um interesting home, right? So there
Mm-hmm.
was, some um dysfunction, dis-ease, all the things going on there. And I needed an outlet that for my writing. So I started with poetry, and then as time evolved, the poetry turned into lyrics and song. I
Mm-hmm.
turned a lot of the poems into music. So that's where a lot of my first music comes from. And then it's just expanded from there. So and of course my soul is like soul, blues,
Mm-hmm.
R&B, and then I had the Latin influence there as well. So I love that because, especially because when I was coming up, style was a big influence, and then now we have the reggaeton, and so
Yeah.
so I had all of that, and of course I'm an '80s kid, so there's rock in there. I'm
Yeah.
an eclectic musician, and then I think what really spoke and expanded my soul was the soul music, the neo soul. When that came out, it just
Hmm.
was like, oh, this is what we've been like. This was like the marriage of all of the things together.
Right.
So,
Right.
so that's where, my sound comes from. That's where I create from, all those influences, and I just allow it to come out however it's channeled
Hmm.
through me. So,
Now,
yeah.
when did you start taking it seriously in terms of you wanted to release music? What so we're at the top of 2026 now.
Right.
Another year. Thank God for another year.
Thank
Um,
you. We're in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A new year, new opportunities as always.
Yes. Yes.
I kind of look at it as every day as a new opportunity,
It
but
really is.
because this is the new year, we're going to talk about it,
Right.
about refresh guidelines and stuff. When did you first start releasing music to the public to say, hey, this is me, and started getting feedback?
Okay. Well, I had the desire to release music like 20 years, 20 something years before I actually did.
Hmm.
And officially, because I had released a few things like on YouTube, because I've sang with a few different like partners, and I had a partner at the time. She was a rapper and I sang, so we
Hmm.
I like that combination for me,
Right,
right?
right,
So I
right.
always find a really good uh, rhyme, and then my singing. So I'll say about now, it's been about 5 years now, 6 years
Hmm.
now, that I officially started releasing things, and things that I had written when I was a
Hmm.
teenager. And it's so crazy how like dreams do come true if you
Right,
stay
right.
focused, and yeah, sometimes you put things down, but if it's really in your heart and it's your passion, it's gonna come back around. It just
Right.
is. It just
Hmm.
is. So yeah.
Mhm. And then what type of responses have you gotten from the music that you release? Talk about some of the songs that you put out or some of the projects that you put out.
Well, okay, so I have one of my favorites is rebel music, because it is that blend of like rock and R&B,
Hmm.
and uh it's been I it has really been so affirming of my artistry, the feedback I've been getting.
Hmm.
I have a small but mighty crew of listeners, and that's
Hmm.
okay, because I know that, I just need to be broad in my scope, right?
Hmm.
But the people that have heard it have given me feedback. They love my music. They love the positivity in it. They love the message. They love how I write. I've even had like other artists that I work with. They're like, "Oh man, you're saying in this song like
Hmm.
so much. It's like 3 layers deep." So I did a collab, and it was what was I talking about? Oh, a whole vibe. That was the
Yeah.
most recent release,
Hmm.
and basically it talked about reincarnation and karma, and it talked about but we just talking about an energy and all of that. So I
Hmm.
try to bring in as much as my story, my experience into my music and my songs. Like I'm coming out. Like I when I wrote that song, I wanted to be the person that believed those words, but now I'm her. But when I
Hmm.
wrote it, I didn't. So I wrote it to, inspire confidence in me, because it talks about this is who I am and all the loveliness you
I,
see,
I was actually going to bring up that song, "I'm Coming Out." So
Yeah.
what it sounded like, that was kind of like a precursor to
Hmm.
you introducing yourself or reintroducing yourself to the world.
Yes.
What what was the thought process behind that song? You were about to go into it, but go ahead and expound on
Yeah.
that just a little bit.
So I'm coming out. So I wrote this. I hated myself for a really, really long time until I didn't, until I learned to really love myself and become the love
Hmm.
of my life, right? But I had a glimmer of confidence. So I wrote from that space and just really talked about accepting me for who I was. I think I was at that point, I was getting out of a marriage. I was getting divorced. I was separated at the time, and
Hmm.
and I felt like I wasn't accepted in that marriage. And I felt like I wasn't seen, I wasn't heard. And I'm okay just how I am, who I am.
Hmm.
So I started writing these songs. This is who I am, and all the loveliness you see. Can't be nobody else. A lioness, that's me, because I'm a Leo. So I just talked about
I
me.
forgot you're a Leo too. I'm a
Yes,
Leo.
yes. Oh,
What's
that's
your birth date
right.
again?
August 17th.
I'm August the 10th. My stepmom's August 17th.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
so
that's
that's
so
what it is.
crazy.
That's why I like you.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're pretty, when we're healed and good,
Yeah, yeah.
we're fun, really fun, confident, bold, you
Hmm.
know, people. Before that
Right.
though.
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that, and we're going to kind of sidetrack real quick, just in the Leo talk for a minute. My wife's a Leo.
Oh my gosh.
My oldest son is Leo. His wife is a Leo,
No.
and
How does
their
all that
daughter.
Leoness get
Yeah,
get along?
one time we were together visiting, and it was my wife, myself, my son, his wife, and then my granddaughter, and we're all Leos, even the baby. So it was funny. Like after the time was over, we're like, wow, four Leos in a room together for a week straight. How do we not kill each other?
Right,
Because
right.
it's a variance though, but I kind of see like July Leos are a little bit different than August Leos.
Yeah,
So there's a little
yeah.
like my wife's at the end of July and my son's wife's at the end of July, and we're both in August. So he's August 18th, you're 17th.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
We're
So
all, yeah,
that energy is a little bit different.
yeah,
So
yeah.
circling back to the track, you got your Leo energy in the track.
Yes.
And so you had mentioned you didn't felt seen or you didn't felt heard in that
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
How did you, obviously the songwriting, but what was the process for you to take that energy, reframe it, and put it into that positive output? Like what's that process like for you?
So, um, like I said, I think "I'll Comin Out," I think was actually a poem. It started out as a poem, and it was like two stanzas worth of poetry.
Hmm.
And I was just writing how I felt, or how I was feeling in the moment, like, this is who I am, take me or leave me, kind of thing. And I'm coming out. I'm not allowing myself to hold myself back anymore. and and I'm coming out as me, right? And
Hmm.
that's it. That's all I could be. That's all I could do. You could take it or leave it, but I'm gonna love me over here. You could be be anywhere else. If you can't accept it, there's plenty other places you can be. And
Right.
I'm still gonna be bold. I'm still gonna be me, and I'm still gonna be this that you see.
Right.
So that's where that song came from. And I've been building and expanding on that ever since, until now I'm
Hmm.
really truly the embodiment of what I was writing about in that song. It took it took like 20, 30 years, but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It is okay. As long as you get there, it's okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then so you got I'm Coming Out, which is one of my favorites by you, that one.
yeah,
And then you had mentioned the whole vibe. What are
right.
some of the other projects you put out? And
I had well, I had the EP, the I'm Coming Out EP, and then on
mhm.
there was oh gosh, now you get my brain going. Rainy Days. So there's that one.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Um and that I'll talk about that one. Um so Rainy Days was came out of um I was watching um my partner at the time. I was watching the way her talk about her family, and
Hmm.
how she she didn't feel seen, or how what was going on, the dynamics there. And I was like, oh, they don't realize the gift that they have in you, and that's their
Hmm.
loss. And it's
Yeah.
also not your responsibility to try to, like, we can take responsibility for what we can take responsibility and accountability for, which is us,
Hmm.
our behavior, how we show up, what's going on. But if
Right.
you are just bent on misunderstanding me, I can't do anything about that. If
Hmm.
you are bent on, but see, the thing is, how you're treating me is you're treating yourself 10,000 times worse than that. And
Yes.
I have compassion for you, and I
Yes.
can understand you, but you do that over there. Don't come over here with that stuff.
Right, right, right.
So, but basically, it talked about, because I've suffered with depression through my life,
Mhm.
and it was like there's days where you're so down and you're like, how, you can't see the end in sight. So
Right.
I thought of that children's thing, rain, rain, go away, please come
Mhm.
back
Please come back
another
another
day.
day.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I built on that, and that's where rainy days came from. So, and it was just saying that, rainy days come, we may go through storms, but
Mhm.
as long as we get back up and we're willing to get back up, we can see the sun and the rainbows and everything at the end.
Right,
So
right.
that's where rainy days. But it started off talking about family first, my family, her family, and then um and then the second verse is about an abusive relationship.
Mm.
So, and how, you know not gonna stay at the time. Funny enough, I had not been through that experience. I had only watched it, and later on I went through the experience, so I now understood. Yes, I'm not gonna let this. I've seen my life flash before my eyes, and I was like, oh no, not today. I still got things to do. So
Mhm.
that's where that came from.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So in situations like that, because this is music therapy and motivation, let's
Yes.
get a little underneath the surface. In situations like that, you're climbing out of a hole, so to speak.
Yes.
And for me in those situations, and coincidentally, I had one of those kind of mornings, like, what the fuck?
Like, how the fuck did I get here? How
Yeah,
did I
yeah.
get here?
That's the
Yeah.
question. Yeah, like
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on? Um, and we all cope in different ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms
Yeah.
of and what may be a stressor for you may not be a stressor for the next person,
Right.
but it is still your stressor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in times like that, now that you are more in a healed position than you were,
Hmm.
would you handle things differently now than you did back then when you were trying to get out of these holes, for lack of a better way to put it?
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten into them in the first place.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. If I could redo
So,
it.
like, if I could
Yeah.
redo it, like with the eyes that I have now, I wouldn't have gotten into a lot of those situations, or I wouldn't
Hmm.
have gotten so far in. I would have
Hmm.
let the flags would have slapped me a few times, and I've been like, okay, 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 I see the
Right.
flags. All right, I'm out. But you know, I at the time when I was going through all the various situations, because I've been through a lot of my life,
Hmm.
um, I was because I did not love myself enough and find worthiness in myself. I was seeking it outside of myself in
Mm.
people, places, and things.
Hmm.
So, of course, it's gonna show me what I really feel about myself. I didn't know this at the time, but
Right.
the world would show me what I really felt about myself. That I didn't even shit about myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't looking out for myself. I was not my first priority. I
Hmm.
I was not looking out for myself. I wasn't taking care of myself effectively. I was pouring into other people who like wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like what's happening? And I'm cleaning up all these little, like my friends used to say, oh my god, you pick up every pig out of the
Hmm.
the gutter. They put lipstick on them, they
Right.
try to put a suit
Put
on them,
lipstick on a pig. That's an
and I'm
old
like,
school. Yeah.
boo, boo. But it's true until I realize, what the fuck? What am
Right.
I
Right. Right.
doing? Why am I don't need crumbs
You're
on my
drowning
like
yourself trying to save somebody else.
drowning myself trying to save somebody else. That is beautiful. That's perfect.
Hmm.
And I was like, no more of this. I was like,
Hmm.
and now I did have to go a little deeper into the whole, like I got out of the relationship and I
Hmm.
planned. And that's the thing when you're in those kind of relationships, you need to be very strategic. If you've never been strategic before, that's the time. And do
Hmm.
things little by little so people not noticing, and you do what you need to do to get yourself safely out of that situation, because
Right.
it's not only going to end one of two ways: jail or death.
That's
And
right.
neither one of those are good for me. Okay.
Not
You
no,
know,
not at all.
no,
No,
I think
then
I was in jail for 48 hours and I was like, that's enough for me.
that's
Okay.
enough. I learned my lesson. Thanks.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
so when you were in those situations then,
Hmm.
and not necessarily the DV situation, but just in general, not feeling like 100% yourself.
Yeah.
How did you get yourself out of that place? Or what was the processes? Was it one event or several little micro events, or how'd that work for you? Because it's like I said, it's different for everybody.
Yeah, well, to get me through my life,
Hmm.
it was little several events. It was like I get to the my max, whatever it is within myself. I feel like, okay, this is it. This is it.
Hmm.
And then I'm like, I choose myself. And then,
Hmm.
but for whatever reason, after going through the grieving of the mourning period after, I forget again that I
Gotcha.
chose
Yeah.
myself
Yeah.
and keep choosing myself. So it so fast forward to about, oh, excuse me, it's been about 10 years now, 8, 10 years ago. um I was like at my rock bottom, where I was just like, I was ready. And I like I said, I've suffered through with bipolar depression throughout my whole life. So I've had
Hmm.
these moments where I felt like, oh, I need to be out of here. This is just too
Right.
much. I can't take this. This is stupid. Why am I here?
Right.
And I was at one of those moments. I was like trying to figure out how to drive my car into this lake, because I was like, how did my life get here? And I went
That's
there.
wild.
Yeah, I went there with, but I went there with my book, my writing, my lyrics, right? So I
Hmm.
went there with my lyrics. I was gonna write, and I was trying to write, and I just started sobbing and crying and crying, and I heard a voice go, "You're the common denominator." And I
Mm.
was like, first of all, there's nobody around, so what? So I
Yeah.
was like, say, repeat it. So I was like, repeat it, right? So then I heard it again. You're the common denominator.
Hmm.
And at first I was like, huh? And I immediately got it. I was like, oh, but I'm crying still now.
Right. Right.
If
Right.
I'm the
Right.
common denominator, I can fix this. So I'm crying and
Right.
laughing, but I got it in that moment. Now it took me a little bit more time to really like embody it. It took about another
Hmm.
7 or so years, but it's okay. Um, but it was that moment that really shifted me into like, I can't be here again. I don't like
Hmm.
this, because I felt like I was so naive, and I was so like, just maybe I was like, oh, maybe I'm too naive for this, or maybe I'm just too much, or maybe all the
Hmm.
things. And I realized, oh, I'm just me. And
Right.
maybe it is too much, but then you go find less, and I'm gonna be too much over here with people that love my too much. Do you know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But
Hmm.
I had to learn that. I had to get out of that space. So that's really like the moment, the catalyst moment, that was the first time that the light went on, like, oh,
Mm.
I gotta choose myself, and I'm the common
Yeah.
denominator in all these situations, all this craziness and chaos. I'm the
Hmm.
common denominator, so I need to shift my mindset, how I feel about myself, how I think about myself, what I'm doing, the choices I'm making, and just make better and better and better and better choices. Because we're
Hmm.
only all ever doing our best. That's all we can ever do, but we
Right.
don't realize it. We think we got to do more than our best, and I think it's partially a cultural thing, because you know as there's a few layers for us, like,
Yeah.
as black people,
Right.
as a woman, as a man, like there's
Hmm.
these layers of, oh, this is what you should do, and this is how it's supposed to be, and all this kind of stuff. Um and this thing of, oh, you have to be like 10,000 times better than this person
Right.
just to get the same whatever,
Right. We all deal with that.
right, while on a level that's true, at the same time I can make my own lane.
Mm. Speak to that. That's what I'm talking
Period.
about. Yeah.
Period. Point blank, I can
Th-
make my own lane.
yeah. That's the thing. And when with myself at least, when I found myself in a situation, I was trying to dig out of a hole. From everything to getting sober, stop drinking alcohol, to I did, regular therapy, counseling and all this stuff. One thing that really helped me to stay away from those dark places or those days of, depression. I think everybody gets a little bit of that from time to time, whether they admit it or not. I did what's called CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
it taught me how to reframe thoughts within my mind
Yes,
before they
yes.
grow and manifest into full negative thoughts.
Okay.
And I've been practicing that for about 2 years now, and it's just done
Hmm.
wonders for. my state of mind. Not that I was ever, living in depression. I'm a Leo.
Right.
I know I'm the shit. But
Right. So at
there's those
some level,
days
no matter
though.
how
Yeah.
depressed, you know, on
You,
some level, I'm the shit.
right.
But right now, I feel like shit.
Yeah, that's it. I know I'm the shit, but today I feel like shit. So how do I
Yes.
combat that? And cognitive
Right.
behavioral therapy taught me how to reframe my thoughts. And I've been
Hmm.
sharing that with other people when I hear somebody doing negative self-talk and stuff like that,
Yes.
because that just beats you down. For
Yes.
example, I do work as a like a I don't like to use the term sponsor because I'm not a sponsor, but I do work with different groups and do like the sober hustle club that I
Hmm.
started and
Yeah,
help
that's so
counsel
awesome.
people to help them get sober, stay sober, maintain sobriety, but
Hmm.
also in a mental health and mental wellness space
Hmm.
there's just so many resources that you can use to get out of that. I mean,
Hmm.
at the very base of everything for me, it's God, it's prayer and
Hmm.
meditation. But there's
Hmm.
a lot of tools and work that one can do to get out of those places. So I was just curious
Yes.
about how you got out of your place because
Well, I do the same thing with the reframe. I didn't even know it was called cognitive behavioral therapy. So now I have
uh-huh.
a term for it because I do that. That's what I do. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I'm not musicking, I'm
Right.
coaching and things. I use that all the time because
Mm-hmm.
our words are spells and our words are so important. Like, um, it can create a world. You can
Right.
speak life speak life or speak death.
100%.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you got to your healed version or healer version, not a word, but
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Now that you have enlightened yourself, how does that affect how you interact with other people now versus how you used to interact with other people?
I just laughing because it took me a lot to get to 0 to 10,000, but once I got
Uh-huh.
there,
Yeah.
it's not to be played with. And I
Hmm.
was petty, petty
Yeah.
McPetty,
I
Petty
was King Petty.
McPederson.
Yeah.
I was a
Petty
fool.
McPederson. Yeah.
Yes, Petty McPederson. Yes, I was
Yeah.
no, no, no. So yeah, it's really shifted the way that I interact with people because one, I interact with myself differently because when I was being judgmental to myself,
Hmm.
I was judging other people and trying to
Yes.
put my bullshit on them
Hmm.
and manipulate them and all that kind of be people pleasing because that's also a
Hmm.
manipulation, right? But we're all doing that until we're not, until we're doing
Right.
something different, you know. So now I really interact with people like I'm very conscious about my time and my energy.
Hmm.
I don't need none of that. Like, if we're not talking about money, trips, like forward thinking, like
Hmm.
who are we bringing being into the world and moving forward, even if we're
Hmm.
going through a tough time, because everybody goes through a tough time.
Right.
No one's, it's not always rainbows and unicorn. We still having this human experience, though we're spiritual being, right?
Hmm.
So this human experience can feel heavy and hard and sad and all the things.
Hmm.
So, there was a period of time where I was more religious, now I'm more spiritual. So I did pray
Yes.
a lot more. But now I I do the CBDT and
CBT. Yeah.
I do like tapping and I meditate, I smoke if
Hmm.
that helps me because and I was thinking about it because I've been recently gone back to church and
Hmm.
which was like why because I'm very spiritual and there is a dissonance,
Hmm.
but I feel like God's doing something through me and
Hmm.
I am bringing me because I'm not changing me.
Right.
I know, I don't want to say I know too much, but it's not even I know too much. I just know the truth of the things.
You know
And I can,
yourself, it sounds like.
right.
Yeah.
I do. I know myself so much better now.
Hmm.
And I can see okay, I see the dissonance. I can see it so clearly. Oh, I see this is a little off, but I don't
Hmm.
have to take it on. And that's another thing I
Right.
learned. I don't have to take on your bullshit. I don't have to receive whatever you're bringing. Just because you're bringing me bullshit doesn't mean I have to take it. And a lot
Hmm.
of times we're taught all this struggle love and this struggle
Yeah.
way of being. And life does not have to be hard.
It doesn't.
It feels hard sometimes, but it doesn't
Hmm.
have to be hard. It
Right.
really is quite easy and uncomplicated, and we as humans muck it up. But that's the unlearning of the whole thing. We're
Hmm.
unlearning. all this, the domestication and the lies we were told and all the secret squirreling and all the things.
Right.
We're undoing all of that, and still living life and still navigating real life situations, but we get to choose how we should show up, how we are, what we bring, and who we be, basically.
Hmm.
So I know that's not a word, but
No, no, it's fine. We're loose around here. It's fine. It's because just hearing you say that, it's like there's a huge amount of the population that can't even get to that place where they can admit that this is me. I'm the common
mm,
denominator, as you said. And
yeah.
one thing I had to learn when on my healing journey, and I'm still on it, of course, but I'm in a much better place now than I was 5, 6 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's like, what portion of this mess is mine?
Mm-hmm.
I can't control you. I can't control Bob, Jenny, Bill, and John, but I can control me. What's controllable by me? And
Yes.
me putting my best foot forward to make my human experience better. And then
Mm-hmm.
also, there was a time where I felt like anytime I enter the room is going to be better when I leave.
Yes.
But somewhere along the way, I forgot that shit. And
We
that's when
do.
yeah, somewhere along the way, I
Mm-hmm.
forgot that, lost my way, drinking myself after death and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one piece. The alcoholism is just one piece. There's just so much other stuff going on in life, as a parent, now as a
Yeah.
grandparent, as a business owner, as 20,000 startups I got going on right now. Being in the music business, and I say music business, not the industry, the business.
The
But
business. Yeah.
there's just so much going on, just like in anyone else's life. There's a lot going on, and I can't
Yes.
settle for just uh I like simple things, but I don't necessarily like a simple life. I like to live.
Yeah.
We only get one go at this. You speak about traveling and going other places. I remember one time you and I talked just a couple years ago, and you had just got back from Costa Rica,
Yes.
and just stuff like that. But now I'm back to that place where I need to leave the room better than when I
Yes.
came in. And I need to leave every interaction. I feel like I need to either leave that person with some fruits of wisdom, or either I'm gaining fruits of wisdom.
Yes.
Which leads to what I was going to talk to you about. Like this year, I've been heavily on obedience. You talk about spirituality, you talk about God.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it doesn't matter whether it's Allah, Buddha, or whomever, to you, whoever's
Right.
listening and whoever's ever watching, just God, that higher power. I made a pledge to be obedient this year.
Yes.
And
Same.
it has
Same.
kicked my butt all year
Ah,
long.
really?
It has. I'm grateful for it. I have a lot of got a lot of plates spinning. I got a lot of burners burning.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so just time management, expectations, managed growth, and that's just my outer world. That doesn't even include just me being a black man, a husband, a father, a friend,
Yes.
a brother,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
A son. I'm trying to be the best version of myself that I can be when you talk about
Mm-hmm.
evolving and healing.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, and I look at some other folks that have yet to reach that pinnacle, and I just want to help them.
Mm-hmm.
However, in my year of obedience, which was 2025, my year, and I'm continuing it, it's not going to stop because it's 2026. But 2025 was like a huge year for obedience. And I got, in my prayer meditation, I got a word that said, don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the logistics. Just do the work. I got confirmation from God that I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right
Yes.
things,
Yeah.
and I needed to eliminate some people, eliminate some situations, and then I need to surround myself with people who are like-minded, or at least trying
Mm-hmm.
to be like-minded. You
Right.
don't have to think like me. You don't have to do what I do,
No.
but you at
No.
least need to have an outlook, that internal fire burning, that you're trying to accomplish something, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't like stagnancy. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like anything where I get too comfortable. So my journey has just been trying to get back to the place where I can be a positive influence on other people, and being open enough that I can receive new information, even though it's not, my idea. because it helps me grow as a person and it helps me be a better person. It's in terms of like, for example, with me in artist management, I'm back in artist management again. And
Yay.
yeah, and just running a label and running a marketing firm and some other stuff I got going. It's been a tough but amazing year of growth for me personally. And
Mm-hmm.
then like you were saying when we were talking about I'm coming out, you just want to spread that. You want to spread that good feeling that you have, that good energy, that healing. You want to
Yes.
share that healing. But midway through the year, what I got was another word after the obedience. Okay, son, you're being obedient. That's good. Don't worry about nothing. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I'm putting everything in place for you. But
Mm.
then I got a word that was don't do anything that isn't the best use of your time.
Woo! Yes.
And I would say this started
Mm.
because I launched a new business in June of 2025.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and at that moment it was like because I'm putting more stuff on my plate,
Mhm.
every my time is so valuable, more so than
That's
ever
our
before
most
right
important
now.
commodity.
Yeah, my time
Yeah.
is so valuable, and I find myself when people ask me to do something or an opportunity presents itself, the first question I ask, and that's within the obedience is this the best use of my time?
Mm.
And sometimes it's not going to be fruitful for me or the other parties involved. So I just can't do it.
Yes.
Even if I know it'll be fun, even if I know it'll be
Yes.
doing a favor, even if I know it'll be giving back, it's like if it's not the best use of my time, and that's not a
Hmm.
selfish thing, it's just
No.
nothing's gonna come from this. So I've
Yeah.
been I've been looking for guidance in terms of this is gonna benefit in some way. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about monetary gains. I'm just talking
No, no,
about
no.
a spiritual connection. Like if even this conversation, like these conversations doing the podcast, help me keep enlightened. And I know that there's value in it. So when people listen to the podcast or people watch the podcast on YouTube, I want to make sure that they're getting value from it. So that's why
Hmm.
I've been very selective about who I've had on the show because I can get anybody on the show, but
Yeah.
it's not the best use of my time if I know that that person's not going to bring something to the audience and somebody get a takeaway from it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm. You said a whole word right there. That was
Yeah.
2025 for me too because I realized one, if I'm not good, nothing else can be good. So I wanted to make
Hmm.
sure I was good. Um all money is not good money.
Right.
And
I walked away from some money this year or in 2025 because it wasn't the best use of my time.
and our time is our energy, and our time is our biggest commodity.
Absolutely.
So being mindful of who we're spending time with, what we're working on, and it might have been in alignment today. Tomorrow, it may not be, and that's okay to
Yeah.
say, oh, you know what? I think our time is up. This was working, it was not
Yes.
working, because we so often stay in situations, whether it's relationships, music, business,
Hmm.
longer than we should because we feel like, oh, we have this loyalty, or, oh, I
Uh-huh.
really enjoy it. It's fun. It's this, it's that.
Hmm.
But is it in alignment with where I am right now?
Exactly. Because me, and you know me well enough to know that I'm all about growth. And
Yes.
if I see a
Yes.
situation, even if I'm trying to be a good Samaritan, if I don't
Mhm.
see the growth, I gotta vacate the premises because
Yeah,
I
because
do.
what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing here? Like going back and forth, and we're doing the same things. And it was somebody said this morning actually, and they were talking to somebody else. I was in a conference, and they said, and this is a common expression, but if you keep doing the same things you always did, you're going to keep getting what you always got.
Hmm.
And are you
It's
happy with what
true.
you always got? And
It's
if you're not
true.
happy with what you always got, you need to change some things.
Yes.
And I
And
always
if
tell
you,
people, go ahead. No, I'm
oh,
sorry,
go
go ahead.
ahead. I
Ladies
was
first, go
saying,
ahead.
if you feel there's a dissonance, if you're unhappy, if you're
Hmm.
miserable, if you feel like my current partner was saying that they felt freer when they were in jail. I was like, oh, your life is not going the right way if you
If
feel
you felt
free
freer in jail.
locked up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
So
something's not
if
right.
you right. So the thing is, the grace is that there are signs where a lot of times we ignore them, And
Mm-hmm.
also, we give our power away to other people so easily. So
Yeah.
easily, we give our power away. Oh, well, it's them, it's their fault, this, that, the other. And it's like, okay, yes. And I could choose. I could have chosen differently. So
Mm-hmm.
I've just learned to take responsibility for what is showing up and not showing up, because there's things that
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, because I'm focused on not seeing it. So I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on being me in the biggest, best way in any situation. The money will come, everything, the notoriety,
Right.
whatever I'm needing to get to the next stage and level will come. Because it's like, when I first started with music, I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be the best selling artist of all time because of
Mm-hmm.
the money. And
Right.
then I realized, oh, the industry's a racket. Well, I realized before all of that, the
Say
industry
that
is a
again.
racket.
Say that again.
It's a racket to keep the not for the artist. It is a business, but it doesn't have to be the cutthroat business that it is. It could still be a business in the interest of the artist, because they wouldn't have the business without the artist. So how are
Right.
you taking advantage of the people that are make keeping you in business? That
Right.
is mind-boggling to me.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, but as I've gone on my journey, I realized, oh yes, would I like the money that comes from that? Yes. But that's not why I want to be in those rooms. There's rooms that certain levels of things get you into. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're not moving energetically or in alignment with those people or on that level, you are not in those rooms. And
Right.
it's not to say you don't deserve to be there, because I deserve to be in all the rooms, ones I know about and don't know about. And what do I need to do to get into the room that feels in alignment? Because of course I'm still going
Yes.
to be in
Yes.
alignment. Because if
Mm-hmm.
if it feels a little shady shisty, I'm out. I'm out. I don't have
Right.
time for that.
Right.
I don't have time for that.
It's like you
So
can feel that energy now. You know what I mean?
yes,
Especially
yes.
when you get back to your true self, when you get back to the
Hmm.
core of who you are and know your true spirit, and you are
Yes,
100% knowing this is me, flaws and
yes.
all.
Flaws and all.
When that negative energy starts to encroach on you, it's like what they say, like you're in my bubble, like I'm in my
Yeah.
bubble. When you feel that thing trying to pierce your
Yes.
bubble,
Yes.
it's like you gotta get the fuck
Quick.
away from me, man.
No, no.
Like you gotta get the fuck
Better
out of
get the
here.
spray or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
get
gotta
some
go. You
some
gotta go.
raid, get
The
the roaches
raid.
off, like get the roaches off me. It's yeah, so yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss your energy. I haven't talked to you in so long.
I know. I know. We got to do
Yeah.
some work together.
Yeah. So what are you working on now? I know you've recently started a podcast.
Yes.
How's that
So
going?
it's going great. The season finale is coming up, and I just closing out next week will be the season finale. But
Okay.
so I've decided it goes from like August until like the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
And it's just been so great because I get to share my story and the wisdom I've gained, and hopefully, I can either be a cautionary tale or inspiration. So either way,
Yes, yes. I use that
either
same
way,
expression. I use that
yeah,
same expression. I was like, let me be a cautionary tale to you, young boy, young whippersnapper.
yes,
Like,
for real,
let me tell
for
you what
real.
not to do.
What
So you
not to
end up where
do?
I am. And have you been enjoying that experience?
I really have. I've been enjoying it, and it's like, and the music and the podcast has really taught me, because you know, do I want millions of followers? Yes, because we all want to get monetized and all that kind of stuff. But I am
Hmm.
so appreciative. I went from like 7 to like 20, and I haven't even really done a lot of marketing for it. I just
Hmm.
been sharing with people I know and on my socials, and it's getting organic. I really like organic. I know the marketing was like, but
Yeah, yeah.
I really like organic.
No, there's
Um,
I love organic. I don't have to work that
because
hard when it's organic. You know what I mean?
Right. Because I feel like, oh, if you found me and you like my stuff, you really like my stuff, whatever it
Hmm.
is. And you're going to be there no matter what. And that's really how it's turned out. Even with my music people, like I have like a few, like a core people. If I have 10, I might be,
Hmm.
whatever. But they're really like, it doesn't matter what I put out. They're going to be on it. They're going to comment. They're going to like it. They're going to share it. And that's what I would want to have. It's
Right.
great to have. I'd rather have quality over quantity, even in business. Like, that's why
Absolutely.
all money isn't good money. I'd rather have quality over
Mm-hmm.
quantity, because I know the money is going to come. I know the compensation or whatever that looks like is going to come. And sometimes I do stuff where there is no money, because the
Right.
value that I get out of it is going to be that much greater. So it's all about balance and alignment and what feels good. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily what feels easy, because it should always feel easy. And there
But it
was some
always doesn't. It
It doesn't
should,
always.
but it
It
doesn't.
should. It should. And you said something. Oh shoot, I can't remember. And it had to do with that. It was kind of like doing things, and what you get, but it's in the
Mm-hmm.
giving that we receive. Like, I get to give. I get so much out of it, whether one person heard it or 100 people heard it, and I'm still gonna do the thing. Like, there's a 10,000 people, I don't care if 5 people show up, still gonna do the thing, because I value people's time, I value
Right.
people's energy, for just taking the time to do whatever it took for them to get there. Because I know there was days where I was miserable, I was depressed, I dragged myself out of bed, but I went
Mm-hmm.
to a Janet Jackson concert and I felt
That's Miss
amazing.
Jackson if you're nasty.
That's right. Oh my God, I love her so much. And look at her, she's like
Yeah.
in her 50s, still dipping it and doing it, and gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
and being her. And that is what is, so I think so many people are getting to that point of just be you, just be
Mm-hmm.
authentically you, and
Authentic.
whatever giving things.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
The healing energy that we're giving people. Um, the last thing you said was authenticity.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Hmm.
being your authentic self. And I was talking about that with somebody. A friend of mine just started a new business dealing with AI. He's like doing AI filmmaking. Brilliant,
Oh
brilliant stuff. And I like what he's doing with it. But in a world with all this artificial intelligence, artificial
yeah.
imaging, artificial audio, I think authenticity, being human beings, is paramount right now for me.
I
You know,
think
it's
so.
like
I
I,
think so.
that's why I try to now, don't get me wrong, as far as I use AI assistant, I use AI tools and things like that, but I don't
Hmm.
present myself. I don't compose music or create music using AI. I don't do my podcast using AI. I like it to be me, the human
Yes.
experience. And
Yes,
and
exactly.
and I don't think I've said this out loud, but since we're having such a good time, when I originally started to do the podcast was actually going to be all about the music business, music marketing, and all that
Hmm.
stuff. You know, what I do. But
Right.
then as I started doing it and as I was evolving, it really became this thing where we're sharing stories,
Hmm.
experiences, and takeaways. And that's been a huge part of why the podcast has been growing as fast as it's been
Oh
growing. It's
yay.
really really been growing. I got Retired Rockstar as a sponsor, which is
Oh
a
nice. Yeah, I saw
uh,
you started wearing the hats, I was like,
yeah, that's a brand out of LA. So they sponsor the
nice.
podcast. Shout out to retiredrockstarbrand.com. And
Okay.
being a brand ambassador for them and then helping them with a
Mhm.
little bit of their marketing. And it's like it's opened up new opportunities because we can have these honest conversations like this one.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like I was mentioning earlier, I'm selective with who I invite on the show because I don't just want talent to say, "Oh yeah, I'm the greatest singer in the world," or "I'm going to be
Mhm.
the number one seller," like you said earlier, I'm going to be the number one selling musician in the world. It's like we need to have these human conversations that
Mhm.
we can offer something to each other. So,
Mhm.
there's a takeaway for me just hearing your story. And the people that are listening, there hopefully is a takeaway for them hearing your story. And then hearing some of my little interjected stories while I'm talking to people like you. And it's like, that's the value. And that's
Yes.
what I'm most proud
Yeah.
of with the show with music therapy and motivation is that I've gotten so much feedback on the value. It's like because it's not just fluff. It's not just
Right.
which keyboard do you use or
Yeah. Yeah.
which microphone do you use or
Yeah.
tell me about that time when you opened up for such and such.
And I mean,
It's more than
that's
that.
fun,
And
and
that's
that's
fine.
fun and great
Yeah.
information, but you made it into, it has depth basically.
Hmm.
It has this depth to it that is
Yeah.
not just surface level music artist, because I think people forget, and I think that's where the whole idea around celebrity gets all effed up is
Hmm.
because They forget that people are people. Like these are real people. They're just have notoriety. These are real
Right.
people that have real lives that go through real shit, and they may be having a rough day. Maybe they did yell at that person. Maybe they did throw their phone. Maybe
Hmm.
they, but oh, now we cancel them because they had a bad day. Well, if
Right.
somebody followed you around with the camera all day, would you be in like rainbows and
Yeah.
unicorns all the time?
Right. 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 Right.
You know?
And it's all about accountability too, in my opinion.
Yes, yes. Take
Being accountable
responsibility.
for ourselves, like being accountable
Yes,
for the mistakes that we make,
yes,
and of course, changed behavior.
yes,
If
yes.
you've been on a pattern of, what we were talking about earlier, being petty and,
Hmm.
being manipulative and all that stuff, is like, at what point when you change, you may have stopped. Say, for example, even I was talking about the Sober Hustle Club, even somebody who has an addiction. Once you stop the addiction, that's just one piece. You have to change
Right.
the behavior.
And there's maintenance. It's maintenance
Every
behind it.
day, there's
Yes,
everyday
sometimes every
maintenance.
minute, depending on where you're at.
Yeah,
You know what
there's
I mean?
maintenance every day with that, but it's not even just with addiction. It's just in how we cope every day. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Your job might stress
yes.
you out, and you might love your job, but because of what you chose to do, there still might be a huge amount of stress that goes along with
Hmm.
that. And
Hmm.
so, how you treat yourself, how you train your mind, reframing again, and
Hmm.
be accountable for your mistakes and make it up to the people that you've wronged if that relationship is important to you.
Right.
I think that's one of the key takeaways too.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to segue because I know we're running on a wire, but I wanted to talk a little bit about. I remember you were telling me you were doing like these women's conferences and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Your work with that, because you do like
Sure.
speaking and stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Talk
I do
about it a little bit.
speaking. I do classes, and basically, I I'm someone who's been through toxic relationships and um an abusive family and dysfunctional family and all the things. And I want to be, um, I want people to remember.
Hmm.
Before it took me almost 50 years. I think I was 48, 49 when I get it, right?
Hmm.
I want to assist as many women as possible, mostly women over 40, that to unleash their inner badass, to be the worthy, to live in their worthiness, to live in their empowerment,
Hmm.
to remember. It's really a remembrance, right? You're not
Hmm.
learning anything new. You're the proof is you're here. So we're if you're here, you're pretty badass because we've been through some
Hmm.
shit, right?
Right.
So it's just remembering that. It's like what you were saying. Oh, you forgot that I'm a badass or I'm
Hmm.
bold or I'm this,
Right.
right? So because of whatever, life beats us down, things happen to us. But I assist women in remembering that they're worthy, remembering that they're perfectly imperfect, they're okay just the way that they are, love themselves, accept themselves wherever they are, even if it's not where they want to be. It's okay.
Hmm.
Where you are right now, love you, find the worthiness in you, find the empowerment in you where you are right now, and you'll be able to get there because when you love yourself unconditionally, you can't help but show up in your world. So we want unconditional love from a
Hmm.
partner, but we're not giving it to ourselves. We're judging ourselves. We're being hard on ourselves. We're beating ourselves with a stick every day about how unworthy we are, that mistake we made way back in the way back, and people still bringing it up. And that's the thing where we don't have to receive everything that's brought to our table.
Right. Right.
You know, okay, yes, maybe you effed up 20 years ago, 10 years ago, a month ago. Okay,
Hmm.
you're not the same person. You're not the same person. So we hope, right? Every day
Right. We
you're
hope.
new, we hope,
Hmm.
new and evolving because every day I love myself more and more and more. And I stop judging myself more and more. And I'm just allowing myself to be wherever
Hmm.
that is. And maybe it looks inconvenient for somebody else. If it's a choice between you disappointing you and disappointing someone else, disappoint them all the time
Right.
because you are this is your temple. This is your space to take care of and take responsibility for. So
Hmm.
I just assist women with remembering all of that, remembering their worthiness, remembering their enoughness, and no matter what you've been through, because and I've been through a lot. So no matter
Hmm.
what you've been through, you can still be confident and be authentic and without fear, in peace and love, and just be, really,
Right,
so
right.
that's what I teach, that's what I speak about. And I do that from just a not a, I don't want to say regular persons, but from a leadership or like a corporate standpoint, I could
Hmm.
do that. Sorry. And then, or I do it from a leadership or a corporate standpoint, and I also do it from an everyday, how do I navigate my kids that are getting on my nerves,
Hmm.
or my spouse is not doing things, or I'm single and I hate it and I feel lonely, like how, you know whatever, like
Right.
wherever we get, because
Hmm.
I've been through all those things. I've been divorced multiple times. I'm on, I'm gonna be on like my third or fourth, I lost count, that's how many,
Right,
you know what
right,
I'm
right,
saying.
right,
But I'm gonna do it till I get it right, and I'm not gonna judge myself for that. Everything that I've gone through is it was for a purpose, and
right.
it's made me who I am right now.
It's
And
like
it's
training. Yeah.
yes, it's training. I love
Hmm.
that. It's training. It's training. And I would not be this person without those experience. Are there things that I would have liked to not have gone through that felt hard, that were, I suffered through, I was depressed, all the things? Yes. And I'm still here,
Hmm.
and I made it through. And what did I learn along the way? Oh, I definitely know what I don't want. Woo! Do I know what I don't
Right.
want? Right?
Mm.
And I know what I do want, because what I don't, if I know what I don't want, I know what I want to call in, what I want to magnetize to me. And
Hmm.
our words and our energy it makes that happen. So my
Hmm.
world has shifted and changed so much because I've shifted and changed within myself. But I had to do within first so that it could show up without. And that's what I teach people. That's what I remind them of. And yeah, so that's what I do
Beautiful, beautiful.
when I'm not
What
making music.
when you're not making music? Oh, by the way, what's the name of your podcast?
Oh, it's More with V, Unleash Your Inner Badass.
Okay, and where
Yeah.
can they listen to it
You can listen
or
to it,
watch it?
or well, you can watch it on YouTube,
Hmm.
and you can listen to it on anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. So Spotify, Apple, it's on YouTube as well, just in audio form, because I have people that listen to it while they're Ubering or
Hmm. Right,
so
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. And what would you say to a young woman who is kind of struggling
Hmm.
in the top of 2026, 2025, maybe beat their ass, so to speak? And what would be some words of encouragement you would give to a young woman to try to at least spark that light bulb or that initial flame for her to start taking steps to make a road back to who she truly is?
Oh, that's a good question. Hmm. What I would say is to honor where you're at. So your feelings that you feel right now are valid, right? They're valid, and at the same time they're illusion, but it doesn't make them any less valid, right? So
Hmm.
because you
Right,
feel them.
right.
So honor where you're at. And while you're honoring where you're at, remember and honor how far you've come. You are not the person you were a week ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year, 5, 10 years ago. You are different. And how you know
Hmm.
is you're here and you're still you, right?
Right.
So allow yourself to be where you're at, and to remember how far, celebrate yourself for how far you've come, and focus on where you want to go. So if you are wanting, I don't know, more abundance or prosperity in your life, well, look around at the abundance of prosperity you have. If you have more than one pair of shoes, woohoo, I'm abundant, right? Maybe you
Yeah.
don't have 20, but you have two. There's somebody who
Mhm.
has none, and it's not to compare. It's never a
It's
comparison.
just
It's more
perspective
right.
and being
It
grateful
Thank you.
for what
That's
we
it.
do have. Yeah.
Exactly. So focus on what are you wanting? Okay. So I want a house, I want a car, I want whatever it is. And focus on that. Okay. So what are the steps that you need to get there. So formulate a plan. I'm a planner. If you're
Hmm.
not a planner, that's fine. But
Gotta have a
formulate
plan.
and write it down, because don't do it in the computer. Actually, get on a pen and a piece of paper, write it down, because there's something about writing it, especially if you're
Yes.
neurodivergent. You need to write it
The
down.
lost art. Yep. I still
So
keep a notebook. Yeah.
yeah, I still write in
I
a
forced myself to
line
start.
notebook. Yeah.
I had to even last year, I had to even stop my phone calendar and buy me a physical day planner just so I can get back into the habit. Because I used to do that back in the day, just so I can get back in the
Oh,
habit of keeping myself accountable for my time management
yes,
and making sure that
yes,
I'm on track to do these
yes.
great things that I plan to do.
Yeah.
You
And
got to have
see,
a plan. If you don't
I
plan, you plan to
you
fail.
plan to fail. Exactly. And I write in my journal. I have a journal. I keep a journal.
Hmm.
I'm not always as consistent with it as I was when I was a kid, but it's good to really write in a
Yes.
tactile way,
Hmm.
whatever, to get it out of here, especially if you're neurodivergent or have a lot of going on in your world, in your mind. Write it down, because you
Hmm.
need to get it out of here to make space. It's about
Right.
making space in your life for what you're calling in, because if you don't get rid of some things, and it's not necessarily about getting rid of or releasing, it's really about integrating, right? You're
Hmm.
integrating. Oh, you can be an asshole. Oh, well, yeah, sometimes you need that asshole. So you're not trying to get rid of the asshole. You're just trying to rein it in so that it only
Yeah.
comes out when you need the asshole. Because you're gonna
Exactly.
need it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna need the bitch. You're gonna need her. You need
Yeah.
her. But she doesn't need to be out all the time. We don't need
Right,
to be there all
right.
the time. So it's really about learning yourself, getting to know yourself, and loving yourself unconditionally, whatever that looks like. And then from there, just being. And more, and in the beginning, it's gonna feel hard, it's gonna feel strange, it's gonna feel weird, it's gonna feel like, what the fuck am I doing? This is
Hmm.
not working. That's exactly when it's working, because you think it's not working, but for you to even be present to it's not working, it's working.
Exactly.
Because awareness is like 99.9% of the battle. Awareness, because there's
Yes.
a lot of people
Yes.
who not even aware that they got some shit that you are the chaos. You think your life is chaos? You
Right.
are the chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was talking about when I'm like, people don't know how to be accountable for their portion of the
Hmm.
drama, their portion of the chaos. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always
Yeah,
something's fault. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so you write it down and
yeah,
make a plan, and make it into bite-sized steps, because yeah, all right, maybe you want, like I said, I want to be the best-selling artist of all time. Well, how the hell do I get there? That's a
that's
big
an
goal. Okay,
overwhelming goal. You have
right.
to break it down. Yeah.
Yes, you have to break it down, because a lot of times we set ourselves up for failure because we have these big overarching goals, and but we didn't realize, well,
You
how
didn't make a roadmap, so you get
right.
discouraged halfway
Are
there
you
because the goal, the end game is too big, and you
right?
didn't break it down into bite-sized increments. Yeah.
Exactly. Are you even writing music?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
start there. Are you practicing piano? No. Okay, well, can you start there? Start
Yeah.
small. And then keep your word to yourself. And the more that you do that, the more confidence you build and trust in yourself, because all of this is an inside job. For your outside to change, the inside has to change first. And that's your
Yes.
mindset, the way you speak, the way you show up. And it's all, how are you doing that for yourself? Because if you're showing up, you can show up the best for other people, but if you're not showing up for yourself, that's bullshit that you're doing over there. Because all
Yes.
that energy and stuff you're spending over there, you could be with yourself. And how much better you, like you were saying, when I walk into a room, I know that I want to leave it better. You don't even have to worry about that, because you know anytime anybody gets to spend any time with you, they're going to be better, because that's
Yes.
just you.
Hmm.
You don't have to try. You don't have to be something that you're not, because you're just being you.
Right. And that comes from moving with intention.
Yes. Yes.
Everything that I do now has got to be intentional. That goes in hand
Intentional.
with my
Intentional.
obedience. That goes hand in hand with me saying, is this the best use of my time?
Yes. Yes.
It's all strategic in getting you to the happy place in the center of yourself where
Yeah.
you need to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is because you have an intention, you move with intention, your intentions, like, sometimes, okay, to get out of that, like, when before I would wake up in the morning when I first started on this, like, awakening journey, right? I'd
Hmm.
wake up in the morning, I'd be so happy, and then, like, 3 seconds later, I'd be so like sad and depressed. And I was like, what is happening? And I realized I was living at my old my default
Mm.
mode, which was depression and feeling down and feeling like world is crap and everything's against me. Okay, so I was like, I don't like this, and I can feel the difference. So I want
Hmm.
to get here. So every day I intentionally spent more and more time focused on happiness and joy that I felt until I didn't have to intentionally do it anymore. It was just a part of
It
me.
becomes
But
kind of
I
second
kept
nature. Yeah.
right. But I kept shifting and modifying my intentions as I grow and expand, because it does shift and change for
And that's
every
the
season
maintenance
of
you
your
spoke
life.
about. Yeah.
Right. Every season of your life, it shifts and changes. So my
Hmm.
intention that I had in the beginning is not my intention I have now, because I'm
Right.
not there. But I also need to not judge myself for the times where I was making a lot of less than smart decisions.
Hmm.
I've done a lot of less than smart things. Like, girl, you crazy. Like, if someone came and told me the story that I about me, I'd be like,
Hmm.
girl, you need we need to call the people and get the
Yeah.
jacket, because you
Yeah.
crazy. But I
Get
did
the
the
mobile
best I knew
crisis
how to
unit
do.
out here.
I did the best I knew how to do
Right.
in the moment. So I don't judge myself. And yeah, what I wish I had known this sooner. Okay, maybe, but I know it now. So what am
Right.
I going to do now? So it's like letting that kind of stuff go, but accepting yourself, allowing yourself to be, and just putting one foot in front of the other, little by little. Babe, sometimes it's a little micro step and not
Hmm.
even a whole step, but it's okay. It's better than where you were yesterday. It's better than where you were a moment ago, and
Right.
celebrating that and remembering that. And that's how you can get yourself out of any like situation that feels sticky or just where you don't want to be, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Dope. 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 Dope.
Mhm.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I know we got to wrap. That was a great parting word. Again, what's the name of the podcast?
It's More with V, Unleash Your Inner Badass. And
And
it's
where can
on
they find your music? I'm sorry.
They can find my music on right as of right now, still on Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere
Mm,
you listen to music. But that may be changing because we're trying to get it as much out of the system as possible. So
okay.
yeah, but right now it's still on Spotify under a new groove. You can find me ANU. I'm at a new groove on the social media, so that's where you can find me on like TikTok and Instagram for my
Hmm.
music. And I'm under a new for Spotify and Apple Music. And then for like coaching and my podcast, it's at More with V on all the socials. You can find me YouTube, all of there. So yeah.
Awesome. 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 It has been an absolute pleasure.
Yay! It
It has been a
has.
pleasure. It's so
Yeah,
good talking with you.
I
And
know.
I'm glad that we could capture this conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's always great wisdom when you talk to somebody who has come from something and now they are sharing that experience and helping other
Hmm.
people. I'm proud of you for doing that. You should be proud of yourself too.
Thank you.
Because we've all come out of dark places, and then some of us either we don't get out ourselves, or when we do get out, we don't try to help anybody else.
Right,
So
right,
just
right.
sharing your wisdom, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experiences is a great thing for the people that you work with and your coaching and everything like that. I am gonna get the links and stuff from you, and I'm gonna put the links in
Okay.
the description for when this
Yay!
podcast airs, so people will
Yay!
be get in touch with you. And any last thing you want to say before we wrap?
Ooh. Um.
The pressure's on for you to say something so dramatic and
So
explosive
so
that they're like,
profound.
yeah, it's gonna be profound. Like just
But
say
you know
something
what?
like, be like, drink more water. That's it.
Right. Drink more water and be you. That's it. Just be you.
Be
However that
you.
shows up, be you. Yep.
Absolutely. It's been
Yep.
so much fun talking with you.
Yes.
Um,
Anytime.
Yes, I'm going to talk to you soon, but we're going to
Okay.
wrap this up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Music Therapy and Motivation. I'm your host, Gino Black. My guest today is Anu. This is season 3 of the podcast. Season 3 of the show on YouTube is at Gino Black Official. We're making things happen. We're shaking things up a
Yes.
little bit, and we're just being ourselves. We're being authentic. So much graciousness. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
enjoyed this episode, you gotta check out this next video. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You'll be the first to get all the new content, all the new motivational content, all the new music, and all the behind-the-scenes footage. You'll be the first to know what's going on. This is Music Therapy and Motivation. I'm your host, Gino Black. I want you to get activated, and I hope you stay motivated. Peace.